Oren, the cute orange alien who didn't always belong to the world of Sprunki. His journey began with a sad story. Oren was born on Vibras, a planet unlike any other. Vibras pulsed with music, its skies glimmered with rhythmic energy, and every being contributed to the symphony of life. Oren, with his warm orange hue and small antenna-like headphones, stood out among his peers. From a young age, he exhibited an unparalleled connection to music, particularly the deep, resonant thrum of bass beats. While others followed traditions, Oren's beats were wild, experimental, and alive. But what made him special also made him an outcast. The people of Vibras were rigid in their adherence to harmony, treating their symphonies as sacred and unchangeable, a cornerstone of their existence. To them, Oren's unconventional rhythms represented not just a disruption, but an affront to their way of life. "Why can't you just follow the rhythm?" they'd scold, their voices a mix of anger and fear of what they didn't understand. His parents, though deeply loving, often found themselves torn. They admired his creativity, but worried about his future in a society that valued conformity above all. "Harmony keeps us together," his father would gently remind him, though his eyes carried the weight of unspoken concern. Yet Oren's spirit burned brightly, defying the constraints placed upon him. His headphones, salvaged from a forgotten relic buried deep in the dunes, were more than just an accessory. To Oren, they were a bridge to his inner world, amplifying the unique rhythms that no one else seemed to hear. But to others, they were a symbol of his refusal to conform, a badge of rebellion that made him a target. The other children's mockery was relentless. Oren the offbeat, they would chant, their laughter echoing cruelly through the air. They mimicked his movements, exaggerating them in ways that turned his passion into a spectacle. They surrounded him with their rhythmic taunts, their synchronized claps and stomps, forming a cruel parody of his creation. One fateful day, the skies of Vibras turned dark. A fiery storm, unlike anything the planet had ever seen, swept across the land. Rhythmic energy spiraled out of control, creating chaotic dissonance that shattered buildings and sent people into panic. Oren's family rushed to protect him, their harmonious melodies faltering against the storm's destructive force. In the chaos, his parents made a heartbreaking decision. "You must survive," his mother said, tears streaming down her face. They pushed him into an evacuation pod, sealing him away. As the pod launched into space, Oren's last memory of his parents was their fading figures against the cacophony of destruction. The pod's journey was cold and unforgiving. For weeks, Oren floated through the vast emptiness of space, the silence deafening. Vibras had been a world of constant rhythm, and now there was nothing. Oren clung to his headphones, tapping beats against the pod's walls to keep his sanity. His rhythmic experiments, amplified by his unique headphones, had inadvertently disrupted the UFO's navigational systems. When the pod crash-landed on a barren, desolate planet, Oren stepped out into a wasteland. The skies were a dull gray, and the inhabitants of this world, a somber and weary people, barely acknowledged his arrival. Oren tried to share his beats, hoping to bring a spark of joy, but his efforts were met with indifference. "We don't need your noise," one inhabitant sneered, crushing Oren's hope. Desperate to survive, Oren scavenged for food and shelter, his once vibrant spirit dimming with each passing day. He slept under the open sky, exposed to the cold and the eerie silence of the wasteland. When storms rolled in, he sought refuge in damp caves. Oren could find no true place for himself, the emptiness of his surroundings reflecting the void within. He found a rundown music hall, its walls covered in dust and its instruments broken. There, he attempted to recreate the rhythms of Vibras, but the sounds were hollow and incomplete. His music, which had once brought him comfort, now felt like a cruel reminder of everything he had lost. The inhabitants' disdain turned into hostility. "Your beats bring chaos," they accused. Oren became an outcast once again, wandering the wasteland in search of meaning. Wandering through the wasteland, he stumbled upon a strange cave. At its center lay a broken ancient drum. When he touched it, a powerful vision overwhelmed him, his home bathed in warm light, his parents' loving smiles, and a profound sense of connection he had long forgotten. The drum's vibrations grew stronger, merging with his heartbeat until it felt as though his chest might burst, not from pain, but from an awakening deep within. The rhythm shifted, transforming into something bright and hopeful. Harmony flowed from the drum, a soulful melody that echoed through the cave and spilled out into the world beyond. The music spread across the city, weaving through streets and filling the air with vibrant energy. People stopped in awe, captivated by the sound, but the effort left Oren drained. As he collapsed to the ground, he whispered, "There must be more than this." When Oren awoke, he was surrounded by a soft, golden light. A group of beings with luminous, flowing forms stood before him. "We heard your music," one of them said, their voice melodic and kind. The beings, inhabitants of a distant planet called Cadenza, welcomed Oren into their world. Cadenza was a vibrant, harmonious place where individuality was celebrated. The people embraced Oren's unique rhythms, blending them with their own to create symphonies unlike anything he had ever imagined. For the first time, Oren felt truly understood. His beats, once a source of ridicule and rejection, became a bridge between worlds. Though Oren never forgot the pain of his past, he found solace in the knowledge that even the darkest beats could lead to a brighter melody. On Cadenza, Oren rediscovered his love for music and his purpose, hope, connection, and resilience. Oren wasn't in the sad, gray world anymore. Instead, he found himself in a bright, colorful land full of magic and happiness. This was the world of Sprunki.